we're going to be diving into the Freemasons. So let's get started. Here we see a European king. I believe their premier objective in previous centuries was to depose all monarchies, which is why we'll see them in the coming revolutions I'll speak about. But yeah, the reason they're so not prominent in modern days is because they got rid of monarchies. They've effectively won. There's a few monarchies like in Luxembourg or Liechtenstein or whatever, and in Asia there's probably a few, but they're not really around. Monarchy is a very outdated belief of governmental ruling. Here we see the founding fathers, or some of them. A lot of them were Freemasons. I venture to say all of them were, though it is believed that some of them were more Christian than others because they knew the commoners were Christian and were very strong in their conviction. So they had to find, this is more speculative, but they had to find a middle ground where they expressed that there can be freedom of religion, but at the same time wanted to keep that liberal order open. And that's why we see them in the foundation of this liberal democratic republic that we live in, or I live in. Some of you might not, some of you viewers, but it is a very strong vanguard of Freemasonic dogma that we still see to this day. Here we see the siege of Bastille. The French Revolution was a bunch of conflicts that was mostly Freemasonic in nature because they were, I believe, fine-tuning their esoteric political practices, as well as seeing how effective media was. And there was various speculations that Robespierre and the Jacobins and all these cats that were Age of Enlightenment pundits were Freemasonic in their intentions, and it's hard to pinpoint whether that's true or not. But they were very prominent, and credit to Historia Ecclesiastica, he said they were the foot soldiers of the not just the Enlightenment, but of the French Revolution. And it showed that they really could make a change in terms of defeating the royalists or the monarchists and deposing kings. Here we see the USSR at its apogee when they had the most republics, and I do believe this is very speculative that Freemasons were at the root of communism in terms of its financing, with Kuhn and Loeb, Jacob Schiff, Max Warburg financing Trotsky and Lenin to go to New York and have them train and kind of plan what they were going to do to Tsar Nicholas's reign and how they were going to use this new ideology by the Freemason, Karl Marx, and whether Engels and others were Freemasons, I'm not sure, but I do think Karl Marx was a Mason, and they understood that communism was going to be a vehicle for their Freemasonic agenda.